Cathie Wood was just on TV and she said that her Tesla stock price target is now $1,500 to $1,600, which is a little bit different from what she has been saying in the last 40 days. It was exactly $1,500, not a range of $1,500 to $1,600.
Would you be poised to lessen exposure to Tesla as you increase exposure to AI chat GPT plays?
Well, actually, Tesla is one of the most profound AI companies out there. And that is why it is at the top of ARKK, ARKQ, ARKW has a big position in it as well.
When Tesla hit its bottom, Cathie Wood didn't just say it's once in a lifetime opportunity. No, she said it is once in a century kind of opportunity. And what did she do after that? She bought Tesla stock. She bought 10 times more than usual, and then she bought more, and then she buys more, and then she buys more again, and it did not stop there. She bought more again right here. This was on January 11th. She said it is once in a lifetime opportunity on December 29th. That is almost as close to the bottom as you can possibly really get. And then she kept buying and buying a whole bunch more than usual up until about here. Cathie nailed this Tesla stock position. And she said recently if she could only own one stock, she would own Tesla stock. Or precisely, if she had to own one stock, it would be Tesla stock. And for a good reason.
It is not an auto company. It is a technology company.
Cathie really gets Tesla stock. I remember in 2018, Cathie Wood was saying Tesla stock will go to $4,000. Everyone was thinking she was nuts. Split adjusted, that is $266. Tesla stock was already there, and if this rise continues, it will be back to that level very soon.
And autonomous taxi platforms, we believe, are the biggest opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years out there around artificial intelligence. So just to give you a sense of that, Tesla right now, its gross margins are in the 25% range. That's electric vehicles. We think they're going up from there. But autonomous is a SaaS model. Those autonomous taxi platforms, and we think Tesla's in the pole position to be the platform, the primary platform in the United States. Those gross margins will be in the 80% range. So we believe that so our target price for Tesla, at least the published one right now, is in the $1,500 to $1,600 range. Wow. From roughly $200 today. And we believe that a third of that, roughly, will come just from the electric vehicle scaling. I mean, we're in the sweet spot of the S-curve for EVs now.
What Cathie Wood was saying there is telling me that ARK Invest is going to increase Tesla stock price target at least by a little bit. Just about 2 weeks ago, the target clearly was just $1,500, not $1,500 to $1,600. It was $1,500. The article published on ARK Invest's website about a year ago, if we adjust that for the current split, that gives us a price target of $1,533. So the $1,600, that's a little bit of an increase from what we had here. And also specifically, Cathie mentioned that that's the current price target that they have published already. And we know ARK Invest updates the Tesla stock price targets usually once a year. And to me, that sounds a little bit like a giveaway. Once the price target is set for 2027 instead of 2026, that the price target for Tesla stock is going to be increased.
The rest of it will come from AI. And we think, those looking for killer apps, that's probably the biggest killer app out there globally.
That it is part of your big ideas report. You released your big ideas with this AI contribution of big ideas. And yet, Cathie, a lot of these names are cutting jobs. We're seeing the effects of a macro story that is slowing. Look at Zoom, laying off 15% of the workforce. Companies preparing for what it's calling the uncertainty of the global economy. Even though it was up 17% year to date, we're also seeing layoffs across the tech industry. So how do you square that in terms of the growth you're expecting, and yet these companies are all pulling it in while valuation seems to go up? Meta up 55% year to date.
Yes. A couple of things are going on. Many of these technology companies had to gear up to handle COVID. And they did. They did a beautiful job. I mean, Zoom, what it did going from 20 million users to 200 million users in a year to 18 months, the technology to accommodate that, being able to do that was probably one of the greatest technology feats we've seen in quite some time. And of course, now we're seeing the opportunity with AI for productivity gains. That's one of the primary opportunities associated with AI for traditional companies.
But like Cathie said, if she had to only own one stock, it would be Tesla stock. The biggest opportunity with AI currently is in full self-driving. It is not in productivity, although because Cathie Wood is a fund manager, she has to own other stocks. She cannot own just one stock, which is where we have an opportunity to beat an investor like Cathie Wood.
I know you were expecting inflation to come way down last year. It is off of the highs, but you look at things like food. I mean, dozen eggs up 60% year over year. You look at things like rent near record highs. What's your take on the Fed in terms of higher rates this year and stomping out inflation?
Well, I think, as I mentioned, I think the bond market is seeing something a little different from what the Fed and maybe what we're seeing from food prices and so forth. If you look at gold, the gold price, which I think is a very important price in terms of people flocking to it for inflation hedge, it peaked way back in August of 2020 and is a leading indicator.
Looking at this goldprice.org chart, indeed, yes, we peaked in 2020, July. Then it came down, came back up again, came down, came back up again. This was in April 2022. Then it crashed down and it peaked again. It peaked in 2023 just now, January 25th. Although it has come down a little bit. Right now, it's a little bit lower, so it is trending down, but it's still very close to the peak. So I am not so sure that gold prices, I'm not sure if that is something you want to use for inflation because it's not really looking very good. I mean, it's still super high. And while inflation is clearly coming down, it is still quite high when we look at this chart. And in this video from about a month ago, Cathie Wood did admit that she doesn't really focus on the macro. She doesn't pretend that she can allocate money based on recessions. I'm paraphrasing here a little bit. But what she does is she picks the best winners, the best innovators that are going to do the absolute best long term. That is where her strength is. So I wouldn't really look much into what Cathie Wood is saying about interest rates or the economy or recession, because she admitted that's not what she does when you watch this video. But of course, if she is asked about inflation or interest rates, she sort of does have to have an answer. But it's not an answer that I would really look deeply and carefully at. But anything she says about innovation stocks, growth stocks, when she speaks about specific names, I listen, because that is what she's really good at. I mean, you look at Tesla. She bought Tesla at basically the bottom. That's where she really doubled down on it. And she's one of a few fund managers that caught Tesla quite early. And for that, I have tremendous respect for Cathie Wood. And this is the Tesla stock buying opportunity explained by Elon Musk. My name is Matt Postis. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.